Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, the 2nd of February, and we are looking at the ES and the NQ on the 2-day and the weekly chart. So, interesting, you can see last night we broke above previous week high, both on the ES and the NQ. So, liquidity has been taken to the upside. Whether they want to take out this pivot and this pivot on the NQ, we will have to see. We are about 400 points away on the NQ and about 30 points away on the ES. So the ES is definitely leading the way in terms of taking out pivots, and you can also see we have this here as well. So if you can imagine retail shorting here when you should really be longing on this linear regression low, and you've also got potential shorts on here as well. It didn't break, but potential shorts going into that market. And then you can see here now, buy stops will go above these prices. So here, here, and here. So far, longs are winning, bulls are winning. And the only thing that I would be cautious of is on the weekly chart, we are right at the higher end of the channel. So this is a linear regression channel taking the all-time high all the way to today's price. And we are right at the top. So historically, what would you do at the top of a channel? Most of the time you would short near a channel and then take down the lows. So I'm not exactly super bullish on here. However, if they do want to send this a little bit higher before coming back down, then obviously we will take that. And if you go onto the monthly charts, you can see there is this volume imbalance candle here that hasn't yet been. It was tagged here on the wick. So whether it wants to come back up again and take out some buy side liquidity up here to then go further down, it all depends. But what you do have, which is quite interesting, which I put in the room a while ago, you had this zone here that was respected. So touch point, and then touch point again. So this could just go higher and break all-time high. So we have to be really selective and really careful with. And if you look on the NQ, I mean, I wrote that post in the room a long time ago that we came down to this level and now potential movement higher. And you've also got 50 to 62% to the tick on the NQ. So 60%, 62% retracement. So what do we know about retracements? Extensions higher takes all the way to 23,000 on that monthly higher time frame chart. So I'm just going to be cautious. We are in, this was a very strong level of support on the NQ and also on the ES. So that doesn't mean we can't obviously make money on the shorts. We just have to have our higher time frame bias hat on at all times. You can see this volume was rebalanced. So if you draw from this high to that low, you can see that level there has been tagged. So price is going higher and trying to take out liquidity resting higher. You had a lot of retail shorting the market, expecting negative data, expecting FOMC to bring out bearish news, market to go down, and they are just sending this higher. Like I say, everyone online right now is bearish and thinking the market's going to go down. So what do you think will happen? The complete opposite. So you just have to have that mindset at all times, but also be conscious that we are nearing weekly bearish sort of premium upper channel resistance. So I just want to make sure that's clear. And if we go over to the 2-day, you can also see here we have this volume imbalance on the ES. We have tagged it once, and it looks like we are going to tag it again. What happens normally when you fill these areas, once they've been hit once and twice, they do have the potential to break out, because the volume and the orders have already been rebalanced. So therefore it makes it easier to push through. So I am keeping that in my mind. And you can also see on the NQ, we tagged it here one day, and now we are above the 50% level on this sort of candle here, this bearish expansion candle down. So it can reject here, and it would make sense because we are, like I say, we're outside of the weekly channel. This has been going on for 440 odd days, so a long time, nearly a good year, nearly a year and a half. So this channel has been forming, and we're now breaking out, and we have retested the low. So like I say, it can definitely go higher, but I am being cautious on the longs just because obviously we're in premium. So shorts are more favorable, but you don't want to be going against the market. So, and you can also see on the daily, on our intraday sort of timeframes, our 30-minute time frame, today's previous daily midpoint on yesterday's level would be at 4,105. Daily pivot is at the low of the ATR range, which is around 4,114. Yesterday's high, you can see here, was 4,163, and then you've got the ATR high today at 4,180, which looks quite likely, but I am conscious that there is a huge volume imbalance here, which is obviously very obvious to see. Also on the NQ as well. But whenever you have these sort of volume imbalances this large, they don't always get rebalanced straight away, so they can just continue higher. They can try and maybe fake out retail shorts on a break of this low, and then they can rip against them. So you could see something like a break into here, and then a move higher. So just something to be wary of. But I will just be using the 1 minute and the 5 minute for my entries. So all of this is obviously just just take this with a pinch of salt, because anything can happen at the open. I don't really care what happens. I just want to see the setup to then align with the sort of bias. So I don't really mind if we go long or short. I just need to see a setup form which has high probability of working with defined risk. Okay, so on the hourly, 4 hour, and the daily, 2 day, but I can go down to the daily just to show you quickly. So as mentioned throughout the week, this linear regression channel is all the way from all-time highs, and we are at the top of that right now. So like I said, more advantageous for longs, for shorts, but just be careful. Vertical price action on NQ as well. Vertical price action is never bullish in my opinion. So extreme extensions on the daily. 4 hour, we had the low to high 62% retracement. Negative 23 has been tested and tagged. Negative 62 takes us to just under 4,200. Same on the NQ, tagged the 62% retracement to the tick high to low. Long series completion will take us to negative 23, which has been tagged at 12,470. And then negative 62 is going to be 12,745, which coincides with today's target of 12,780. So there could possibly be a move higher, 170 points. But like I say, we'll have to see a setup before we get that. And also on like the ES as well, the 4,200 target also takes us to within today's sort of range of 4,180 to 4,200 on the ADR indicator. So that would be another 1% on the ES. So we are already up so far pre-market, 1.6% on the NQ and 0.6 on the ES, so 60 basis points. On the hourly, you can see here we've got the linear regression channel taking the most recent highs and lows, and you can see we rejected right off that high, came back down here. We are now testing again, so you can see here yellow is indicating the volume imbalance or volume expansion. So just be conscious that obviously there is room to come back down to here, which is previous week high as well, coincides with the 50% mean threshold of the channel. And also on NQ as well, 50% mean down around 12,250. We are 400 points away from that, so I don't think it's likely to come and test that. If we're going to go, it's probably just going to go continue higher. Obviously, they're going to try and fake retail shorts they need to like give them bait, so they're not just going to rip it. Ideally, they'll need to sort of make them think it's going to be weak and then retail short because they think it's so extended, and then they'll rip against them. Or vice versa, they'll make it look bullish, and then retail will buy, then algos will go sell short against them, bringing prices down. Or not even sell short, just basically offer lower prices, because price is 100% manipulated. So the 4 hours, like I said, we're still in the long series until completions. 23 is acting as support, so I would have this on my chart at 4,142.43 and some change as a support level, and same on the NQ, 12,470 as some sort of support level as well. But until then, like I say, we have extensions higher on this long series fib setup. So that's going to be it, guys. I will be in the live screen at around 9 Eastern. I will see you all in there.